Welcome to You Can Do It. Today we're talking Mini R56, N14, N18, N12, N16. This one in particular is an N14 Cooper S. Basically, you can have a Cat 276A fault, which comes and goes, and you can. If you see here, if we turn this on, we've got no fault lights, no engine lights up at all, but it can still store a fault, and then as that fault gets worse and worse, then suddenly the engine light will come on. Now we've had that problem in this every sort of 2 months or something. We get a engine light come on, and I have to clear the 276A fault. So today I thought I'd go through looking at the fuel trims on the cars to show you what actually happens when it does that 276A fault, and then we'll also solve the fault. Now, one of the telltale signs is that you'll get black soot on the back of the exhaust, which means she's not running properly. Obviously the exhaust should be sort of pretty grey at the back, it's got black soot on the pipes at the back. That's generally telling you obviously it's running rich, but can be all sorts of faults. Can be your exhaust flexes got a crack in it, which means your emissions are going to be wrong, and especially at tick over, it causes it to be over rich. So let's have a look at this. Now I'm going to need someone else is going to drive, and I'm going to use my launch here, and we're going to go through the launch, and we're going to look at the different parameters on the OBD2 and on the diagnosis system, and then we'll clear the fault, and then we'll go back and have a look at it. Okay, look, we haven't got any faults up here. Alright, but if we go into here, we're into the OBD tests. We go to live data, read live data. Here we have, we just select all. Okay. Alright, now if we go to down here to cats at living temperatures, a lot of people actually fail your MOT because your cat's not hot enough. Into cooler 108. Long-term fuel trim is 3%. Yeah, that's telling me immediately that there's something wrong because of the catalytic converter fault, which isn't showing on here yet. But I'll show you back on the other test we do to show that there is a fault in the system. Look, so the long-term secondary sensor is minus 3.12, and the long-term sensor is long-term fuel trim bank 1 is plus 3.1. So they cancel each other out, but that's telling you there's a problem there, and the light is off. Okay, so if I go back here now, and we go back, let's go back here, go to diagnose, mini, manually select, mini, R56, health report. Alright, look, so we've got a fault code there, even though the light's not up. So we go to there, look, there's the fault codes there, look. Their history, they're old ones. And the little is a 276A Catalytic Converter conversion. So that's already faulted, but it hasn't put a light up. So if we clear those, right. No fault codes now, not at all. We go back, go to OBD2, and you'll see, let's have a look at the fuel trims now. Enter, read live data, select all, okay. Right, now let's spin down here to the short-term fuel trim, 0. Yeah, long-term fuel trim, look. Long-term fuel trim's gone to 0 now. So you can have a stored fault which is not showing a light on, which is your cat, and you're running rich, because that was running rich before. See? Now she's much more. So long-term fuel trim normally on this is 0. It's your short-term here. Your short-term fuel trim swings around, that's normal. You see? It's swinging around and it's small. So when your long-term fuel trim positive, it's telling you that there is a problem. This means it's having to compensate before the engine even runs. Okay, it's the next day. Before we go and do things and change the cat, we're just going to check a few readings here. So if you look here, I've got on here data stream here of my oxygen sensor for before pre-cat and post-cat sensor. Okay, so if you look at these here, the orange is this post-cat sensor, and the blue is the pre-cat sensor. And if you actually look, pretty much doing the same thing. So the post-cat should be basically flat-ish as the cat's doing its job, controlling the oxygen. Whereas if you can see here, I'm revving it at, what am I doing, 2,500, look, and you can see there that basically they're following the same sort of profile. So that's suggesting to me that the cat isn't doing its job. Now, of course, there could be a fault with that rear sensor. I do have another one, so I can put that in and check, but I would almost bet my bottom dollar, because we're getting the 276A fault, that it is actually the catalytic converter. And this has done 100,000 miles, so it's probably due. And if you've been running any of these with emission faults for any length of time, it will stuff your cat up. So it looks to me like I need to get myself a new cat after testing a new rear O2 sensor, but I can bet your bottom dollar it's the cat. So look, they're basically the same. I mean, the rear one, this orange one, should actually be very very flat, because the cat's doing its job. Now, if you notice here that because it's a wideband sensor, the pre-cat sensor is a wideband, and you get an amperage meeting, a milliamp reading, rather than voltage. So if it's a narrow band sensor, you get just a voltage. If it's a wideband, you get a milliamp reading. Yeah, okay. So I'm fairly certain I need to get myself a new cat. So what we'll do is we'll get a new cat, and we'll install the new cat. I can put a separate video on how to put a new cat on, but we'll install the cat, and then we'll come back and see what the reading is. Okay, hope you like the video. This is the first part. I'll do the second part when I do a new test on this reading, but I'll get this video uploaded. If you like the channel, please subscribe, send me a comment if you've got any questions, and just remember, you can do it.